Do you remember what it was like to play Battlefield 1? If you do, and you've been itching for that feeling on mobile, there's a new game that just came out, and I think it might be the closest thing to a genuine Battlefield 1 experience on mobile. This game is called World War I Firestorm, also known as Weltkrieg 1 Firestorm. It's currently in open beta early access, and only has around 6,000 downloads at the moment according to Google Play. However, this game is quickly catching buzz around the mobile gaming community because many people think it's just like Battlefield 1. So today, I'm going to try the game out on max settings using a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 device, which is being throttled to 70% power to completely prevent overheating. Let me show you my graphic settings real quick. As you can see, I have screen resolution set to the max, graphics quality set to high, since the game currently doesn't let me choose ultra. And for frames per second I have it set to 30. As I have said in other videos, I'm one of those people that doesn't see a real difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. So before we get into some gameplay, let's talk about this cool game some more, to give you some context on the game mode you're about to see me play. World War I Firestorm is basically what happens when someone says, "What if Battlefield but World War I," and also on your phone. It's a full-on World War I mobile first-person shooter built around big, chaotic, squad-based battles where you're sprinting through muddy trenches, dodging artillery, and blasting dudes with classic rifles and early tanks. The whole thing is designed specifically for mobile, so the gunplay is fast, the controls are smooth, and the maps feel like actual war zones instead of tiny boxed-in arenas. You pick from different soldier classes: assault, medic, sniper, all that good stuff. And each one actually changes how you play, which keeps matches from feeling like mindless run-and-gun. Now let's talk about the game modes, which of course are the main hook. Ultimate Conquest is the big one. It's straight-up Battlefield-style control point warfare where teams fight to capture and hold objectives, and the front line swings back and forth in total chaos. If you're not in the mood for strategy and just want to fry your thumbs, there's Team Deathmatch in 6v6 or 10v10, which is perfect for quick, sweaty matches where it's all about aim and movement. Between the objective mode, the pure fragging mode, and the class system, it hits that sweet spot where you can either go full tactical brain or just vibe and shoot stuff. Today I'm going to be playing Ultimate Conquest. Ultimate Conquest throws 20 players into the fight, split in 2 teams of 10, and the whole match turns into this non-stop tug-of-war over control points scattered across the map. You're constantly sprinting between trenches, dropping bodies, and trying to hold objectives while artillery shakes your screen like it's trying to escape your phone. It's super teamwork heavy too. If your squad isn't coordinated, you'll get steamrolled fast. But when your team actually locks in and starts chaining captures, it feels insanely satisfying, like you're actually pushing a World War I frontline forward inch by inch. I believe this game is built on the Unity graphics engine, so even at max settings most phones with anything like a Snapdragon 865 or above will probably be able to run it at high settings. Low-end phones like something on a Helio processor could possibly run this game as well at lower settings. As you can see, the game is able to capture that gritty, muddy environment that World War I is usually portrayed in. Some of the textures in the game are rough to look at up close, while other textures such as mud look very realistic. I would give the graphics a 7 out of 10 because it works perfectly for this type of game. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently using a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 device throttled to 70% power, and I have the game at max settings. I haven't experienced a frame rate drop at any time while playing the game, and my device hovers around 40 degrees. I really like the movement in this game, but I hate that the game doesn't support controllers at the moment. The game has this depth of field effect that activates anytime you move forward, which makes the game feel immersive as you're running through those trenches hoping you don't get shot. The shooting feels very responsive, and enemies are easy to see despite the low color palette. One thing I noticed is that when you zoom in with your weapon, it doesn't zoom out automatically when you let go. You have to press that zoom in button a second time. Hopefully when the game is in its final form there's an option to change that if you desire, but most importantly hopefully the developers realize that controller support is a must. In 2026, there's really no excuse for a mobile game not having controller support. The good thing is the game is still in beta, so hopefully the final form has it. I was really surprised at how fast characters move in this game. As you just saw, some parts of the environment are destructible. That grenade I just threw is what made the tree collapse. Isn't that awesome? I'm really loving the atmosphere of this game. It really does have the Battlefield 1 feel. Let me see if you can make a tree collapse with bullets. Guess not. I'm on the blue team, so I'm looking for targets marked with the red symbol. The respawn system in this game is pretty cool. Basically, you can select a teammate and respawn near them as long as they are not currently engaged with a shootout. From what I've seen, you can respawn near a teammate engaged in battle, as long as they aren't firing their weapon at the moment you select their icon on the map you just saw. Did you see all those bullet holes just now? See, these textures right here are hard to look at, but watch how realistic the mud looks when we get near some. Gunfights are so intense in the game. I'm about to die though, only because I'm outnumbered. See right there, I respawned near a teammate engaged in battle, because he wasn't firing his weapon at the moment I selected his icon on the deployment map. See how real the mud textures look? If all the textures in the game had that quality, I would give the graphics a 9 instead of a 7. This game has a lot of intricate details that make it feel so realistic. For example, you can hear your character gasping for air after your run. It looks like the red team is about to win, but maybe we can make a miracle comeback. Nope, no miracle comeback today. So as I stated earlier, this game is in early access open beta, with only around 6,000 downloads at the moment, so when you play a match there's a high chance that many people will be bots, but for sure some will be real people. It's a lot of fun either way and the closest thing on mobile to that authentic gritty Battlefield 1 feel. Also, this game has vehicles you can use such as tanks. You might have noticed one during the match I just played, but I never went near it. But anyway, thanks again for watching and don't forget to subscribe to Cancel Console Gaming. We help you discover the best games to play on your mobile phone.